Hello everyone, this is Ashley from Ashley's Creations, and I have a project for the My Style Stamps design team call. I used two My Style stamps on this one, and I'll go through them to the whole card, but I used the Beach Bum stamp set. I used the little girl, and I used the flowers, and I used the flower border, and I used the pool party set on the inside. And then I also used the My Style Stamps Wish I Was stamp set. And I used the Wish I Was, and then I'll show you the inside in a minute. So I colored the little beach bum girl up with my Copics, and I'm still working on my Copic coloring. I think I'm doing an okay job. I'm figuring it out. But I used these three colors for her skin, and then I used this one for her blush, and then for her flower and the flowers on the towel I used BV08. Focus. It's BV08. And then for the little flower parts, you can't see it because I put enamel dots on it, but I used the RV17. And then for her headband and the towel, I used BG23. And then for her hair, and for the leaf I used YG93. For her hair, I used these three colors. And I'm still working on how to get like the shading in the hair. I got a little bit here and a little bit here, but I'm still trying to figure out how to get it later, but I'm working on it. And then for her bathing suit, I used these two colors. And I used this one for her shoes as well. And I think that's all of her. And I used that same pink for the towel down here. And then over here, I used the Tailored Expressions Made in the Shade stamp set. And I used the little snowman stamp right here. So it looks like this. It looks like this right here. And I used the middle part right there. I stamped it on some white cardstock, and I colored them in. I used my BG10 to shade them in so it looked like they were white. And then for the scarf, I used R29. For his hat over here, I used YG97 and BG15. And then I used the BG15 for the earmuffs right here, and then I also used RV04 for the actual earmuff part. And then I used the cool gray C3 to make a little shadow underneath them. And then I masked them off with my Eclipse masking paper that I have, the little like inch wide tape. And I used tumbled glass and broken china distress inks to make the sky, so it looked like it was a wintry scene. And then I used my Wink of Stella to put some little dots in the background. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but to make it look snowy, so there you can kind of see it in snow there. And then the window comes from Tailored Expressions. It's the arched window die, so I used that so I could put the little winter scene outside. And then I used Paper Tray Inks Dark Chocolate for card base. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I just did the top folding card. And then for my background paper, to make it look like wallpaper, because she's inside her house, I used a piece from this color book set. It's called Delilah from Walmart. I got it for Christmas. So I used this one right here to make it look like wallpaper. And then I used a 1/2 inch strip of dark chocolate here, and I stamped the flower border on there. And it didn't go all the way across, so I had to stamp it twice. And then I used very vanilla cardstock down here, and I embossed it with the, I don't remember what this one's called, but it's the Stampin' Up! The Basic Stripes embossing folder, I think, or it's the stripe folder from Stampin' Up! And then I layered that all together to make it look like she was inside her house. So here she is, she's in her towel and her bathing suit, and then you look outside, and then, you know, it's all snowy, there's a winter scene. So up here it says Wish I Was, and I used the Wish I Was stamp set from My Style Stamps. wish I was, ... And then I used the word window punch from Stampin' Up! To punch that out. And then the modern label punch to back it with dark chocolate. And then I have some enamel dots here. I used the sugar dot. This is the Prima, the Delight, and I don't know if it gives a color. I guess it's just the Delight collection, but I use this blue right here. I put 3 little dots there to give it a little something. And then for these dots I used this basic gray collection, the candy buttons. So then it says wish I was, and then you open it and on the inside it says on vacation. So here she is in her beach clothes and her towel, and she's ready to go swimming, but outside there's actually snow on the ground and it's all snowy, so she wishes she was on vacation. So I used the wish I was for the on vacation, and I stamped that in dark chocolate, and then I stamped these little hearts in berry sorbet from Paper Tray ink, and I used the matte stack number 4 layers die to cut that out and put that on there, and then I just used another piece of the pattern paper. And down here you can't see it very well, but I stamped pool party down there. So that's the inside. So I also used my Wink of Stella on her bathing suit, on the flowers, on the window, just to let the window stand out. And the last thing I added was some Spring Rain twill ribbon from Paper Tray ink. I made a little bow there just to give a little something extra. So that is my design team call project for My Style Stamps. It's my little girl who's living here like in Michigan, probably like me, where it's snowy and it's going to drop down to 5 degrees next week. So she's living where it's cold, but she's wishing she was on vacation in her little bathing suit. So and actually I will be on vacation next week. I'm going to the Rose Bowl in California to see the Michigan State Spartans win, hopefully. So this actually is going to be me, because I have blonde hair too. So this is me looking outside my window at snow, wishing I was on vacation in my bathing suit, which is where I'm going to be next week. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and thank you, Nicole, for putting out the design team challenge. She is Colby's 1981 on YouTube, and her name is Nicole, and her stamp again is My Style Stamps. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!